Apex promo. I don't know how you can do that. Alright, you ready? You can do it. We can start with it, and you can get that after.
Okay.
Alright.
Do me a
Sounds good.
favor, fools. Just do it for you.
About to get this going. El roble chile. Bueno. What's up? I'm good, alhamdulillah. Another installment
Of Conscious Thoughts podcast.
Conscious Thoughts podcast. Okay.
Alright, you guys can go ahead and start.
You can't get it?
That's both of them? Yeah. Press the button. Alright, that one's already recorded.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action.
What's good, y'all? This is another installment of Conscious Thoughts podcast. That's THOTS, just in case you were wondering. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'm with my lovely co-host, Ms. Jams.
What's up, y'all?
How are you, boo?
I'm good. I'm
You
good.
look very lovely today.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you.
I'm feeling it's a good little Tuesday vibe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was raining this morning, sun came out.
Yep,
This is the type of weather that make you put everything together. Like you wake up and you wake up in the morning, you start feeling yourself, you're like, okay, you know what, I need to do my hair, I need to get right, you get in the shower, you start taking care of that little maintenance that you may have missed out on or avoided during the winter time when we was in hibernation. Yeah. And then this is the type of weather that get girls caught up.
Sundress season. I'm wearing my sundress right now as we speak.
Sundress, you quick to jump in.
I was quick. I'm not gonna lie. The weather was nice today.
That's what happens, though. You start working out all winter, and then you start feeling yourself. You get the little booty pop out, and then all of a sudden, sundress season take over your life.
Yep.
This also gets a lot of girls caught up, though. You know why?
What's that?
Because this is nude season.
Ooh, true.
This is hop out of the shower. You start feeling yourself. You got your phone. All of a sudden, you start looking in the mirror a little bit, and you take that little moment.
Yep.
And you're like,
take a little snap.
I don't know if this is a good idea. See, and that's the thing. Snapchat changed the game because
Yes,
now
it
they
did.
disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Now they disappear. You know what? Okay, I gotta be honest. So,
okay, what's up? Let me hear it.
Moment of truth.
Okay.
I was in a long distance relationship for a very long time.
Okay.
Right? So I think that's one of those scenarios and situations where like you take a little bit of liberties, to FaceTime. But the fear has always been like in the back of your mind, like, okay, should I really be sending this? Is this something I should really be sending? Because you never know where it's going to end up.
Yeah, that is true.
Because people get petty or relationships break up. But what is the right circumstance? Like, who do you feel like you'll send nudes to? Like, would you ever send nudes to somebody you was just talking to? Or does it have to be like a full-fledged relationship?
I personally feel comfortable with a full-fledged relationship. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've sent nudes to a dude that I'm just talking to and stuff like that.
But do you cut the face out?
Oh, 100%. You could not see my face.
Do you always cut the face out?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. With my man, no, I have to cut the face off because that's my man. I trust him.
Okay.
But if it's a dude that I'm just talking to, girl, my face is gone.
Your face is
My face is gone.
Do you think that? But okay, I guess it also makes a difference if you have tattoos or not, right? Like a little recognizable marks.
True.
I actually knew this girl, and she used to go ham with her nudes because she would like Photoshop out the tattoos.
Yo, that's smart.
And she had a little app on her phone, and she would Photoshop out the tattoos. She would Photoshop out any moles or anything. Adjust the lighting a little bit so you couldn't
clever.
But you know what? See, this is my thing though.
What's up?
Do you ever send the same picture to more than one? Have you ever gone back in the camera roll and sent more?
Yeah.
Just because you was like, oh, this is too popular. I have to, if I don't send this to more than one person to appreciate that it was a wasted nude.
It was a wasted nude. Yes, I've had a few wasted nudes here and I had a little one too, but yeah.
But okay, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I don't recycle. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you my reasoning. I don't recycle because God forbid that it ever got leaked or ever came out or ever whatever, right?
Oh, yeah.
I want to know who's the motherfucker that leaked that shit.
Yeah.
And if I only sent the one to the one, like that's your man,
Mm-hmm.
I only sent it here, I know exactly where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So you can
That's
go,
smart.
and
That's
I can
smart.
call one of my 7 brothers and be like, listen, you don't need to know why, but this is a door that you need to knock on real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, see, but the problem is nowadays is like relationships get very petty very quickly.
Yeah.
Right? So these little intimate moments that the internet has made, and see, and the fear is this, right? Obviously, you know, the stigma that comes along with that. There's a certain level of respectability that people expect of you.
For sure.
Whatever the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we all in this digital generation where, you know, you want to be able to kind of share these intimate moments, and if you far from each other. But that petty though.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been so petty as to like think about all the petty shit that you've done when you broke up? Like, would you ever put somebody on blast?
I can't do that because I believe in karma, and that's just gonna come right back and bite me in the ass. So I cannot do that at all.
Well,
I mean, I've messaged females and be like, "Yo, I have your man's dick pics," but I haven't.
Jam.
Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah, but I've never sent those pictures out. I've never done anything.
But you've messaged girls and said, "I have a dick
That's
pic
okay.
of
Okay,
your
let me
man."
explain the situation first of all. Okay. So I was in a long distance relationship with a dude.
Okay.
And he lived in the States.
Right.
And the entire time I had no idea he was messing around with another chick down there too in the same state that he was in.
Ooh.
And I was under the impression that I was the only female, of course.
Okay.
So I got angry, messaged the girl, and be like, if he's your man, then why do I have his penis pictures?
But did she come at you first?
No.
So
that was me being petty, though.
So you were the one that was being petty.
Yes, I was the petty one because I was angry. I was with the man for like 3 years.
Right,
So.
and then you find out that he's cheating or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But see, there's so many things that I feel like nowadays the problem is that people forget. You know, we were together, right? Like, what's sacred when you're in a relationship, right? Because I mean, understandably, emotions come into play, and as women, you know, some of us are snapped to judgment, right? I've always tried to remove myself from a situation when I get angry.
Yeah.
Just because I know myself. I've worked long and arduous hours to not be the hood booger that I once was.
Oh shit.
And sometimes like it'll bubble.
Yeah.
It'll bubble
exactly.
a little bit.
And that time, that moment, the situation, it got the best of me. So.
No, but you know what? If you're gonna be in a situation with somebody where you're in a relationship and then you feel like there was a violation of trust, you know, there's a certain level of petty that come into play. Mm-hmm. But what about what you do for each other when you're together? Like, do you ever throw that in their face at the end of the relationship?
Nah.
Would you ever ask?
I can't.
Would you ever ask a dude for something back that you bought from him?
No, because in the meantime, when I bought it for you in the first place, there was meaning behind it, and I wanted you to have it. So me taking it back, there's just no. In my mind, there's no take back, so to speak. So.
What about
Nah.
What about if you paid a bill?
If I paid a bill?
Yeah, or like you paid a couple bills.
I don't know. I shouldn't be paying your bill if you're my man. I'm just.
Well, that's facts. I mean,
I shouldn't be paying your bill for no.
Do you say you've been in a relationship?
Okay.
Actually, let's not even go to the relationship. Let's say you're dating.
Okay.
Okay. So you're dating. You've been dealing with each other for X amount of time, and then what ends up starting to transpire in a relationship is he starts offering things. You know, he want to start doing things for you, or for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You're not asking for nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Do you take a second, like a pause, right? Mm-hmm. When he starts offering certain things financially.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Like, do you think twice about that?
A little bit, because then I'm just like, is this? Because if we're just dating, then I feel like there has to be something. There has to be a catch.
That there has to be.
Yeah, there has to be a catch. With me, it's like I can't trust a dude immediately. So I feel like there's something there that I need to find out. So yeah, to me, there's a catch.
A lot of the new wave now, right? Like this whole choppy craze, the whole chapeadora craze, the whole gold digger.
Yeah.
For those that do not speak Spanish, obviously, this whole wave now. Like even we're seeing, I believe, Passport Cuddy wrote a book also.
She did, yes, she did.
The M Man is for money, right?
Mm-hmm,
Isn't that okay?
And she did a podcast actually on lip service. They were talking about that too.
Discussing all of the ins and outs of that. So there is this, financial reciprocal
Yeah.
type of wave that a lot of women are on. Now, this is always a very tricky conversation to have, right? Because we talk about traditional gender roles and things getting switched around. And one of the things that I really have seen in my lifetime, those of us that feel like, we super independent, a lot of times, like, we'll shoot ourselves in the foot almost, right? Because we won't take help from nobody.
Of course, exactly.
But then what happens when you start to actually say, you know what, I'm gonna give this dude a chance, I'm gonna let him, I'm gonna let him do for me if that's what he feels like doing. How much is too much? If you're just dating.
If I'm just dating, I mean, it'll get to the point where it's too much, where he's asking for things back.
And what do you think things back? Like
could
putting
be
conditions?
Yeah, like conditions. Like, let's say, for example, okay, I'm hurting for money or whatever, for example, which never happens. And I need, like, let's say, for example, like a bill paid and stuff like that. And he pays my bill and he expects me to pay him back. Then I'm like, okay, like, you went out of your way to pay my bill. I never asked you. So the fact that you're going out of your way to ask me for that money back, then it's like, no, I can't.
But do they ask for the money back when you're in a relationship, or do they ask for it back once it's over?
I've had situations when it's over. Yeah.
See, and that to me, you know what, to be honest with you, there is nothing more fuckboy.
Yes, that
oriented.
is. Yes, that is
asking
fuckboy.
a woman, if you knowingly give a woman money and you say, you know what, I got you, there's no strings attached, this is just me trying to hold you down because I'm good right now.
Yeah.
And then things don't go the way that you want them to go. And then they ask you for that shit back.
I'd be like, you are a fuckboy. That money is mine and you're not getting it back. At the end of the day. That's just my opinion. That's my humble opinion.
But if the fact that could ever actually happen, does that maybe say that maybe as women we shouldn't even be putting ourselves in that position?
Yeah, but in the same time, if you're like trying to be like the independent woman, like, you shouldn't be in that position in the first place.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's not even about being in the position or necessarily needing handouts or asking for handouts.
No, definitely not. I'm the last person to be asking for handouts.
Because I know in a lot of experience with a lot of women, depending on the culture that you come from too, right?
Yeah.
Like me being from New York, I've noticed where we come from, women expect certain things, right?
Yes.
Like, and certain men, like, they won't even try to deal with certain type of women because they're like, she look too high maintenance, or she too expensive, or whatever the case is, or whatever reason it is that they have for why they won't even approach them if their pockets ain't even right. Like, that's a culture thing, right?
Exactly.
But then out here in Canada, it's like it's reversed. Can you explain to me?
I don't get it. I grew up in Canada. I don't get it. Like, I just don't understand how these niggas could be moving this.
I have seen so many men hanging out of the passenger side of a woman's car.
Yeah.
I've seen so many men driving a car that's not theirs. I've seen so many men in rented apartments that their name is not on the lease.
Yep.
And this
or
is
even like I've seen situations where men are driving cars, it's their car, but the insurance and the ownership is not theirs.
And is that because of the fact that they don't want to be connected to the car, or is that because of the fact that they can't even get insurance?
I can't say to this particular person, but yeah.
That's an unfortunate situation.
That's unfortunate.
That's a very unfortunate situation. You got a car, but you can't get the insurance.
No.
If you got a car, but you can't get the insurance, you need to seriously think about what your priorities are.
Yeah.
Because purchasing a vehicle is not the same as being able to drive.
It ain't yours. It ain't yours. You get pulled over, you're not the owner.
So, would you say there's a lot of male gold diggers in Canada?
Fuck yeah. Yeah.
What is, in your opinion, is a male gold digger?
A man who not only tries to take advantage of a woman monetary wise, but he tries to, like, I guess, take things for advantage of her, like, for example, the car situation, like if he's driving a whip that's under your name, or he's living in a house that's under your name. To me, in my mind, you can't be a man. You're a gold digger.
But what if he used to pay all the bills and something happened?
Then
is it an acceptable situation?
I think it's acceptable. Yeah.
Is it ever okay to cheat while taking monetary help from your significant other?
Yo, that's messy.
Does that add an extra, that's some fuck shit onto the cheating?
Yes, why wouldn't it? Like,
No, I'm curious.
To me, my opinion, yeah, I think that's some extra fuck shit. Like, why would you want to cheat if someone's doing this for you? Like, they're going out of their way to give you, I guess, these monetary gifts, so to speak.
And
if
then
you
you're
cheat
violating.
on them, yeah, you're violating that. I can't fuck with that.
What type of repercussions as a woman goes through your mind? And you just gotta, let's do some role play for a second, because this is a necessary role play situation, because I don't think that I can ever recall any of this from personal experience.
I can't.
But we're gonna do this role play real quick.
Let's do this.
Imagine you are a woman.
Okay.
And maybe your self-esteem's a little low or for whatever reason, and you got this one brother and he looks so good. Like real good, and he busts the walls out every time, and like you completely and entirely enamored and infatuated, and then you say, it's okay, baby, you want hard times, why don't you move in with me? Yeah. It's like, okay, baby, I'm gonna move in with you. And it's just, papi, I know you need to get to work, so here, take the car, right?
Yeah.
Here, take the car. What do you think as a woman is in your arsenal of getting back at that dude if you find out and catch him cheating in the car that you gave him to go to work in?
Kick his ass out. Like, if he's at work right now and he has my whip, yo, I'm calling up my girl. Like, yo, let's pull up to this nigga's job. I'm getting my car back. You're walking home.
Would you ever report the car stolen? Because I've heard of somebody doing that.
Ooh, I don't know. I think that's a little too far.
Is it a little too? Is it a little too extra?
That's a little too extra.
I swear to you, hand to God, I heard of this girl that she caught her man cheating. He had her vehicle, and she straight called the cops and said that the car was stolen.
Yo, see, that's cop collar tendency in my eyes.
See, cop collar tendency. There's certain situations where you need to keep the boys out of your business.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the type of person where the less often that I have somebody in my entire business, much less somebody who is from like, one of those government backgrounds, right? The better, okay? But I've noticed that a lot of people like to deal with their problems that way. Instead of just, in my opinion, I wish we could all just draw a circle outside. We're like, okay, we're going to step in a circle.
And just
shoot the one and get it over
and done with.
Like, if
take the earrings off,
exactly.
take the nails off and just go in.
See, and being here in London, Ontario, I had to get used to this kind of mentality of like, the police is like, that's legit a call. If you losing a fight, the cops are getting called.
Yeah.
And these girls have this idea like, oh my God, I'm tough, I'm this, I'm that, and they throwing hands and they out here in these streets and they talking about it.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to it, they get their ass whooped, and then the next thing you know, you got cops knocking.
Ring. Yep. Yeah.
Have you ever taken a risk of being in a situation where you wanted or deserved to throw hands, but you didn't because you were scared that they was gonna call the cops on you?
Fuck yeah. Actually, funny enough that you mentioned that, I have a little story for you. So there's this girl that used to work for my mother. I'm not naming names, but my mom had to fire her because she wasn't listening to the rules. And let me tell you how this girl went onto Facebook, wrote on my Facebook wall saying, oh, I feel sorry for you having such a snake mom, and I see what karma's doing to your family.
Wow. On social media?
On social media.
Public forum.
Yo, I'm just telling you this right now. If I were to actually do something about it, I know this chick will be calling the cops. So I'm just going to let it be.
So you feel like you got to be a bigger person.
I got to be a bigger person.
Is it worth being a bigger person?
Like that situation? No, okay. She's fucking with family though, right? So it's like you kind of have to, but at the same time, I know this bitch is a cop caller. So I'm not... For my mother, I will catch a charge, but at the same time, it's like I'm gonna.
But you got to think about what it is that you have to see. And this is one of the things. The reason that we started the Conscious Thoughts podcast is because there's always this push and pull that I find. Whether it's about sexuality, whether it's about how you deal with certain altercations and confrontations. Yeah. There's always a push and pull.
Yeah.
And we see this a lot, especially in urban culture, where we don't. I don't want to coin it ghetto. But a lot of the environments are places that we come from, or realities that we come from. Even if we don't come from there, a lot of the stuff that's being fed to us through the media, a lot of those types of ideologies.
They're influencing us.
They influence you, and they advocate violence.
Yeah.
They advocate, an extra level of sexuality. How do we, as intelligent women, and women in general, right?
Yeah.
Because this isn't even about a gauge of intelligence. This is about how much are you capable of respecting yourself while at the same time being able to indulge those urges or to grow out of that. I had a situation on a few occasions where my name got called out, was something super petty, but it was just one of those things where I was like, yo, I'm not from here.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody here to defend my reputation.
Yeah.
This is a blatant lie because the same lie was told about another person. They just changed the name. So that's when you know somebody really being messy.
Of course.
But I also knew, like you said, this individual is probably somebody that would, put me in a situation. I have children. I'm grown. I can't, I can't afford to be in those situations.
And the individual you're talking about, I know of, and she is that type of person. I can vouch for that.
So I saved my freedom.
I will save your freedom, girl. I will bond you out. Don't worry.
You'll bond me out. See, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like there's been a new wave, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's been a new wave as far as certain altercations that. When I was younger, I used to see grown folks scrap all the time. Things would happen. There was fights, drag out fights, especially even stuff between. Always something. But I don't feel like the boys didn't really get involved. We dealt with things on our own and we kept it moving. If you took an L, you took an L. It was what it was, right? Now, people will whip out their phone, too. So you got to worry about not just, okay, I could catch a charge. Potentially, this person could call cops. I could be in a situation.
But now there's evidence.
Now it's not just that there's evidence, but how does that deal with your employer?
That is absolutely true. Yeah.
What happens if you are in a particular position or you work a certain type of job and then all of a sudden you've allowed this moment where you let your anger get the best of you and now there's a video of you on social media?
I couldn't do that, honestly, personally. Like... That's when, I guess the intelligence should step in, because that's when you figure out, okay, this is fucking my future up. So I'm not trying to do that. Hence the situation that I was talking about previously. I don't want to mess up my future when it comes to employment. I don't want to mess up my future when it comes to the States, even though I'm Somalian and probably not allowed to go to the States anyway.
I was going to say.
But yeah, I'm not putting myself in that jeopardy. But worst case scenario, I'll probably throw a drink in the bitch's face. Just saying.
Throw a drink, but I hate throwing drinks.
I know. But
I feel like throwing drinks. Throwing drinks is like pulling hair.
Okay. Yeah.
That's always been my I hate. There's nothing worse than when you see two girls in the club and they doing the claw and they going like this and then they pulling tracks out and then all of a sudden the hair fly. I feel like if you're gonna fight for real.
No, of course.
And if you don't know how to fight for real, then just don't fight.
Don't fight at all. But I'm just saying, in my situation, it's I don't. It's just extra satisfying. It's
throw a drink. I've never thrown a drink in my life.
I've never either. I mean, I've been in a situation where this girl actually nudged my sister in the club one night, and my sister, of course, threw drinks. And me being, of course, a protective older sister, I had to throw down as well too to protect her. But so
see, and that's the other thing, because you go out with your sister a lot.
Yes.
So there's a whole new element, and between you and your sister, you're both very attractive.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all have your little righteous ratchet tendencies like the rest of us, but you're very classy. You're very beautiful women.
Thank you.
When you go out, how much does that influence your inability to keep your composure if somebody's messing with your family? How much does it ramp it up versus if somebody comes at you?
I mean, at the end of the day, that's blood. I'm willing to do anything for blood. So it's. Yeah, I know it's tricky because now I probably sound like a hypocrite because I don't want to get in trouble when it comes to stuff like that, and I don't want to mess up my future. But at the same time, it's that's family, So it's
there's
there's buttons being pushed. So there's certain lines that you do not cross. So if you do cross that, of course you have to face the consequences at the end of the day.
Now, what do you think about this whole idea? I have a lot of men that say that if they're with a woman and she fights in a club, he no longer want to deal with her because they don't think that women fighting is attractive.
I mean, I see where that person's coming from. I get it.
Do you think that there is a double standard when it comes to women and men fighting?
I mean, us women, we're more catty. It's with men, it's I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. Because I've seen male fights in the club. I've seen female fights in the club. Female fights in the club don't really last that long. When male fights is they will keep going blow for blow until it's done deal.
Until it's done.
Until it's done. So it's a tough
blood leaking out the back of the head.
Yo, I'm telling you, like a few weeks ago there was an altercation at one club that I was at, and bottles are being thrown. I've seen noses being broken, noses being split open and stuff like that. So these men were going in. Like I've never actually I was actually scared for my personal safety when I was there.
Was that bad?
It was that bad, yeah.
Now, I'm curious. Do you ever get yourself in situations, or have you been in situations? Because a lot of times, we think about Canada and how strict like the gun regulations are here, right?
Okay.
Like, there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous when those types of altercations happen that somebody's gonna pull out?
Actually, that's funny that you even mentioned that. Carabana last year, we went to the Fabulous party.
Okay.
And there's this one man who was trying to hit on one of my girls, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. And let me tell you, this man was drunk out of his mind. And so my friend was trying to tell him, no, 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 I'm not interested, leave me alone. So then my sister stepped in, and she's like, okay, my nigga, she doesn't want you, get the message. So he gets into my sister's face. And then when I seen that, I'm like, of course, being me, being the protective older sister, I'm like, okay, this has to stop. And then out of nowhere, this man goes, okay, I'm strapped up, I'm strapped up, I'm strapped up. I've never been in a situation like that in my entire life. Neither has my sister or my one friend, and we literally just left right then and there.
Well, that's probably the safest thing that you can do in those types of situations, because there was an incident, the Labor Day parade that happens in Brooklyn. There was a young lady that there was a similar situation. She didn't want to wind up on a dude, and he felt a type of way, and he pulled it out. And that was that. This young sister, she lost her life over something like that. It's
tragic.
Is this level of rejection? Because this is not a story. Like, these men, male aggressors, this isn't something new.
No.
But there does seem to be more and more men that become extremely hostile when they deal with rejection.
Yeah.
Is that subject to the generation? Do you think that there's something about this particular generation that takes rejection in a different way, where they want to escalate it to that level?
I think so. I feel like because when a man is rejected, he needs to at least try to, it's an ego buster. Like, it hurts their ego, like, down to the core. So they feel like as if, okay, yo, this bitch did this to me, I gotta do something else to get back at her. You know what I mean? And I feel like with men from the our generation at least, it's like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever, she doesn't want me, I'll keep it moving. But like these younger cats out here now, it is a huge ego boost. So of course, they take it to heart for sure.
There's always question, right, about what level of warning signs that you should pay attention to when you're dealing with men that are incapable of checking their aggression and their anger.
Yeah.
What would you say is your top 5 warning signs that somebody is going to cause you problems, or maybe put hands on you or threaten you?
Well, I've been in situations where the man has actually threatened to hit me.
So verbal.
Yeah,
okay.
Verbal is one. I've been in a situation where I noticed like his fists were clenched. So that's when I exited myself out of the situation before as well too. I've also noticed another one I would say is he gets too close into your face, like into your personal space.
Into your personal space.
Yeah, that's also another sign. And another one I would just say just the body language, just like he's trying to like big himself up. Yeah, the aggression is just building up.
I always say that if a man's body language or his level of aggression mimics that of what it would be with another male, that you need to get yourself.
You need to get out.
Situation.
Yeah, you have to get out
at any time because a man should never be utilizing the same level of force or the same level of conversation that he would if he was talking to another man. I think that's a good place to start. And also, I pay a lot of attention to judgment calls and the things that they'll do when they're drinking.
Yeah.
Men who can tolerate their alcohol and who can maintain their composure and don't get sloppy, those ones tend to have a little bit more of a cooler head, even if they are, and it's not foolproof.
Yes, exactly.
But almost every single time that I have exhibited somebody that's like, oh my God, I can't handle my alcohol, they start wilding or they start whatever the case is, and they just get
aggressive. Nah,
you gotta watch people when they're drunk.
Oh, for sure.
Especially as a woman, like, if you dealing with somebody and you just started dealing with them and you don't really know them that well, if y'all go out and have a couple of drinks, I mean, it really is some truth serum.
Yeah,
And it's not really about what they tell you.
No,
it's about how
it's
they
their
behave.
actions. Yeah, how they're behaving. Of course, it's like they always say, it's like liquid courage or drunk thoughts or like sober feelings or whatever that saying was. But like, that's exactly it. So like people's, in some aspect, their true self comes to fruition when they're under the influence.
When they're under the influence.
Yeah.
And what do you think the caliber of the pussy be making a difference too?
Mm.
Like, because obviously now we going to a next level. Like,
Yeah.
we're not talking about dudes that you just looking to dating, whatever. We're
Yeah.
talking about, okay, you've been dealing with this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that, because in New York, yo, girls say all the time, if a man has not threatened your life at least one time in your life, you're pussy trash.
You're pussy trash?
You're pussy trash.
No.
he gotta have at least like shook you real hard or told you like some shit.
Yeah.
You know, and to the point that it really affected, coming from that mentality, it affected my relationship when I moved out here.
Really?
When I started dating somebody that was from Canada,
yeah,
I realized just how sometimes how unhealthy the patterns of relationships that we have in certain environments can be.
Yeah.
And how we're conditioned to think that certain things are okay or certain things are acceptable.
Exactly.
Because for a very long time, you know, Bronx, Dykeman, anybody that's from those areas, they know we different. Like to the point that the rest of New York, uptown bitches is crazy. We not dealing with these girls. We don't know. It's worth it. But they still come uptown because they know the shit is fire. But then at the same time, they like, I'm gonna get burned.
They gotta reel it back.
But we have this kind of conditioning of the way that these relationships are, where we think that translates into passion.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he got so angry when I did that, or he got so jealous. That when that happened, when I moved to Toronto, I realized that the relationship that I got into after having been strictly with somebody that was from the same place as me.
Yeah.
And I will admit that there was another relationship that I did have that probably was also affected by that same conditioning. But it was a different situation because there wasn't as many triggers.
Okay.
When I got into the relationship out here, I realized there were certain things about my behavior that I needed to start checking on.
Okay.
Because it's not okay for somebody to be all up in your space all the time. It's not okay for somebody 100%. To track you down and some of us women will feel like, oh, if he's not doing that, then he don't care. He don't really and then we start getting a complex about it.
Yeah.
And then that can be a detriment to our own relationships.
Yeah.
So what level of like passion versus what level of, this is not healthy? Where does that line get drawn?
I would say the line would get drawn is when you feel like as if, I guess, threatened in some aspect. When they say, oh yeah, when they're about to shake you, like you were saying, pretty much like your pussy's trash if you're not getting shook by your man. So I'm just saying, it's like right there, it's like there's a little comfort zone, so you just have to like, I don't know, there should be a fine line, and the fine line should be that it should never ever get, I guess, violent or...
It should never get to that point.
It should never ever get to that point whatsoever.
What about smashing furniture?
That's another trigger, I would say.
Is that another trigger?
Yeah.
Smashing furniture?
Yeah, punching holes in the wall.
Punching holes in the wall.
Yeah, I mean that's also another trigger as well too, because that just shows that man could possibly have anger issues. Yeah, he's not taking it out on you physically, thank God, but it's like, you got an anger issue, my nigga.
But what about the stuff that we do? To get them to that point, right?
That as a woman right there, that's when you know what line you should not cross.
Because,
like, don't be that catty female. Don't be just nicking at him and like pushing those buttons. That's when you know, okay, he's angry. I gotta back up.
And to be honest with you, a lot of times that's what we do.
Yeah.
We will push buttons. We will like do everything that we can as women to get that reaction. Yeah. And that was a pattern that I realized like I was in. Yeah. So when I was in the relationship most recently, and it was a different kind, and like I felt like there was an absence of passion, and I wasn't paying attention to some of the little things that he was doing. Okay. And that's one thing that I will always take accountability for, because the whole purpose of our relationships is for us to learn and for us to grow and for us to evolve, right? Exactly. By no means was this man a saint, but we also have to take accountability as women and take responsibility for certain things that we don't appreciate and that we don't do.
Exactly.
Because sometimes men are not always going to tell you every day, baby, you're beautiful, baby, I love you. You know, sometimes that's not who they are.
No.
There's different ways that people will show that they love you. And I think when we become too conditioned in any way that we expect from one relationship to the next for it to be the same, that's when it starts to be detrimental to our own selves. And then and there's a lot of women out here that are, oh, these dudes ain't shit. They not saying nothing. I'm done.
Yeah.
But they're in a real conscious thought.
Yeah.
I think we are at a point where, as women, we have to start taking accountability as well.
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
Because we can sit here on the podcast and we can talk all day about how, oh, this dude ain't shit because he cheated, and this, you know, is it okay to go and talk to another girl when you're in a relationship? We can go over all of the things that men don't do or don't do.
Yeah.
But we also need to start really taking an introspective look as far as females. And sometimes we have to listen to men and what their feedback is, because it's growth. It's about growth. And the second that you feel like you're not about to grow anymore, then it's a problem.
Then you have
right?
time to exit yourself out of the situation, in my opinion.
With that, also thinking about, as a woman, setting certain standards and taking certain responsibility for certain behavior.
Yeah.
I've got a very, very touchy question.
Oh shit.
Okay. I got a little bit of a very touchy question, but how many sexual partners can a woman have before she's reduced to a label? Like, what is the number? What is the maximum number?
Okay, so I was with somebody.
There's a lot of feedback from the
feedback from the people behind us.
One.
You're getting one, you're getting two.
You're getting one. You're getting two. You get one for experience and one for preparation.
Piece and a half.
It couldn't have entered the vagina. It was. It could only be the tip. It was only the tip. After that, she's sullied forever. That's it. It's over with. No.
All right. So my ex pretty much said, if a female fucks a man, more than one man in a calendar year.
In a
12-month span, if a female fucks more than one man in that calendar year, she's a hoe.
Oh God.
She's a hoe. That's what my ex wholeheartedly believed.
Did your ex also say anything about how many women a man can fuck in a calendar year?
He's a self-proclaimed womanizer, so.
Okay, so hold on. So. Self-proclaimed womanizer. That sounds like a very fancy way of saying that nigga
he's
fuck whoever he wants.
He fucked whoever he wants. Yes.
Really? Damn. But why is there such a double standard? Like that level of double standard. Like we in 2017 and there's still, that's really the common thread. I mean, I don't know. Like I feel like it depends on your age though. Like can we talk about that? Like I feel like a girl at 21 is not going to have the same. I'm 34 years old. You want to talk about one in a calendar year. The relationship, okay, all right.
If you were single, different. This was his mentality.
But if you're single
and you fuck more than one man in a calendar year, you're automatically.
But how are you supposed to know that y'all have sexual chemistry if you don't have sex?
You gotta ask him. But me, in my opinion, if you have sexual chemistry, why not? Do it.
But if there's sexual chemistry
and you're both consenting
adults,
yes,
absolutely,
yes, definitely,
that makes a lot of sense. But I think the judgment is still very, even though there's been an opening, there's more open. Okay, we seeing more of these girls on Instagram and like a lot of these dudes. I saw a very funny meme. It was like a whole room full of strippers and then like a girl in some jeans just like perched up and she's like, me versus the dudes or the girls that my dude be liking on Instagram.
Oh my God.
So there's this, men will still glorify that lifestyle or those type of women, but at the same time, one or two sexual partners, and then after that, you labeled.
You're labeled.
Yo, I'm more thought than conscious today. Then that's the situation. But I feel like there's a code though. Like I really do. Like I feel like there's let's keep it all the way 100.
Right.
There are rules.
Okay.
You should never ever. I don't care whether or not you been broken up for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You should never have no type of sexual relationship with anybody that was friends with your partner.
Your partner, your previous partner.
Your previous partner.
Fuck no.
Even
Fuck no.
Even if it was just a physical relationship. I'm gonna take it even a step further. Because if you don't want to get called out, and if you don't want to be, labeled, or you don't want to be treated a certain type of way, you're trying to maintain a certain level of respectability.
Yeah.
Then even if you dealt with somebody physically and it was just physical, you should still stay far away.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
And I see a lot of these girls making that mistake.
Yeah.
Like whole basketball teams, jams.
And those dudes fuck all the same.
And you know what?
Too.
And what never ceases to amaze me, is how naive some women are to think that these brothers don't talk to each other. That's the one thing
let me tell you
that
this.
blows my mind.
These basketball players live in the same house. So you don't think they don't be speaking to one another?
Dudes that don't live in the same house still talk to each other.
I've
had male friends who have literally knocked off the same girls, and they all talk about it, and they've told me on countless
times. I've seen niggas compare pussy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They sit down and they debate it and they go back and forth. But I've also heard situations where dudes tell me, this girl straight up said to me, don't tell your boy.
Wow.
Don't tell your boy. That, for the life of me,
wow.
I can't wrap my head around how naive do you really need to be to think that this dude is not going to
run his mouth.
His friend, but not to say run his mouth, because grown men do not kiss and tell.
No,
let's be clear. There's a difference.
I'll agree to that. Yes.
But grown men that are having a physical relationship with a female, you really think that they're close friends? If they see their close friend like sliding in the DMs, or they see their close friend, trying to get at that they're not gonna be like, yo, my dude, like, I hit that, I knocked that down, or I'm still knocking it down, right? And you as a woman, you put yourself in that position because you're being naive to think like, oh no, my pussy is so bomb, it's good. I got Fifth Amendment pussy. They not incriminating themselves for nothing. Like, that's not happening.
No.
If you going to deal with somebody in the same circle, you're gonna get put on blast.
Of course. And
when we talk about the athlete situation, even if they're not living in the same house, if they playing on the same team, right, or they having the same conversations, as a woman, you have to really think about what it is that makes you special. Because women, whether we want to admit it or not, we get emotionally attached during sex.
For sure, 100%.
Whether or not we want to admit it or not. Like, you may be able to recognize what your boundaries are, because I've been in situations before where it was genuinely friendship, and it was genuinely, but there's certain respect levels that are also there. Like, you're gonna certain conversations that's gonna be had, or certain things that's gonna be there. You need to know as a woman what it is that you can live with.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you go into something thinking, oh, I'm gonna change this dude, that's where you start to fuck up. Because you can't do that.
You can't change that. No, you cannot change them.
A man is only going to do for you what he wants to do for you.
Exactly.
And then anything aside from that. So the way that women and men relate to sex is definitely different.
Completely different.
Which is probably the reason why they say, one sexual partner or
in a calendar year.
Partner in a calendar year. Because they know, men know, that women especially, they have some type of an emotional connection. So if a man hears from you that you had 30, 40, 50 sexual partners, or he knows for whatever reason that you've dealt with that many dudes, he's already looking at you like you're damaged. Yeah. He's already looking at you like, what is it about this girl that she needs this much attention, or that they need to have that many interactions? Is that fair, though? Or is it some women just want to have sex?
A little bit of both. It's not fair, but then in the same time, it's like women just do want to have sex. They want to have fun. But I have a question for you, though. So have you ever been in a predicament where you've had sex with an individual, and then later on, you had no idea that you were dating his friend? So let's say, for example, in the future, you had no idea those two men were friends. Later on, you start dating this next dude, and you had no idea they've been friends.
That's tricky.
That's tricky.
See, and
how do you move around like that?
And I'm from a very small neighborhood. Like, New York is big, but the neighborhoods are small, right? Yeah. So in certain people in certain circles, has that happened? Not really. I can maybe think of maybe 6 degrees of separation, like maybe an acquaintance, or like somebody that was known professionally.
Well, they don't have to be friends. Yeah, they don't have to be like boys, but like they know of each other. And then
You know what? I'm very transparent though, because like I feel like I'm a bit of a serial monogamist, admittedly. Like this is the longest I've been single. Shit, since before my marriage, honestly, and I was married for 7 years, right? So it was a little bit different.
Okay.
But even with that relationship, after that, then I was in a long-term relationship for a couple years, and then after that, I was in a long-term relationship for a few years. So I'm almost every time that I get out the gate and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be single. Yes, I'm be out here. I'm gonna do this. I'm a date. I'm a date, and then all of a sudden something will happen.
I'm the same. I have like a few months gaps, and then
right. So
boom,
this is the first time. So this is the first time I've been single since July, and this is the first time that I've been.
A year.
It's been a long time.
It's almost a year.
Which I've gotten to this place where like I really do enjoy it, but I still move.
Yeah.
Very much like I'm in a relationship.
Good.
Because of that situation that you brought up, because you don't know who's connected.
No.
You never know who's connected to who or who knows who, and sometimes it can get messy. But if you at least move in the streets like, okay, you know what, there is a certain level of respect. Yes, I could be talking to people, but the physical relationships that I have, you know, I'm gonna be very careful.
Yeah.
You don't talk your business, you don't be out there, because in order to date somebody thoroughly, I do feel like you should have a sexual relationship with somebody that you're dating.
Of course, 100%.
That doesn't necessarily mean that y'all are in a full-blown relationship, but you know, sometimes you just want to know.
Yeah.
Like, chicks like to act like, oh, no. If he not wifing me, then I'm not getting... No, you not.
Bitch. No.
You need to know, because the next thing that you know, you're going to pull that dude's pants down, and he going to have 3 inches, if you lucky. He gonna have
it's just like that one meme you showed me. It's just like that one meme. I think it was you who showed me. With the baby.
With the girl when she laughed.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yo, that one.
That was
she straight put it was like a nub. then you already in a relationship with the nub. You really that's what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
You need to know. Like, you don't want to commit yourself to somebody if you don't know that y'all have chemistry. Because no matter how many times we want to say differently, the reality of the situation is that sexual chemistry is necessary.
It's like one of the major factors.
Especially nowadays when everything is so accessible. Because these dudes, they can scroll through Instagram all day.
Yeah.
Scroll through Instagram all day. They see all these different types of females. It's easier to cheat. Cheating's more accessible. There's you as a woman already in the back of your mind. You know, you got to know that it's a different time. It's a different culture.
Yeah.
So you need to know that somebody that you're with is somebody that you can actually be loyal to and be faithful to and not be miserable. Because some women, we won't cheat based off of integrity, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm not gonna cheat not because necessarily how I feel for him.
No.
Maybe a lot of times if I don't cheat, it's just because I have the integrity for myself that I don't want to put myself in a situation where I feel like I'm breaking my word or I'm doing something.
You don't want to get caught up. No.
I don't want to cross lines, right? But you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody where you're so miserable or you're so dissatisfied or the sex is so bad that you feel the need.
That you have to cheat.
Have you ever been in one of those relationships?
Thankfully, no.
Oh, so what? You just got radar? You got good radar.
I just saw it real good.
But it could happen. Not with the type of brothers that you date. No, definitely not.
No.
Definitely
I have a specific type, and it's just like...
Shout out 950 Kev. I just want to give a quick shout out because he's been rocking with us for a minute now. So I really do appreciate.
And I have to shout out my girl Kaylee out in Australia. What up, boo? Coachella next year. Can't wait. Love you.
So, okay. Back to the question.
What's up?
The type of brothers that you date.
Yeah.
They look...
They have a certain type.
Out ovaries.
Yes.
Because it's so bad. That bad boy stigma.
I can't help it. I'm so into it because I grew up so square, right?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, my ex would call me, I'm the good girl. Like, my ex would always be like, oh, you're such a square. You're the most squarest woman I've ever been with my entire life. I'm just like, okay, cool. And, like, he's, like, I guess, the bad boy. Like, I guess he's, like... quote unquote the baddest.
But you're so you know what, you're attracted to the opposite of what you're used to.
Exactly.
You are attracted because I was with the men that I've been in serious relationships with. They've all been good men. Like, and when I say good men, I don't mean that they wasn't dogs. I just mean that they paid their taxes.
Okay.
Like, they paid their taxes. They did. I mean, I've had a couple intermittent, I've dated 1 or 2 felons. I ain't even gonna lie. Some of them OG uptown dudes, they get you, they stop you, and then you messed up for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I try to avoid that. Like, I don't actively go looking for the bad boy.
I don't actively look for it either. They just come to me.
I don't know. I feel like you be scrolling through Instagram. He looked like he got a charge. I'ma like that picture.
No.
He looked like he got a charge.
They just come to me. I don't know what it is. Like
sometimes what it is that the attraction to what you're not, right? Like so the opposite of whatever it is that, so good girls.
Yeah, the good girls love the bad guys, like the bad boys. So it's just.
And those of us that grew up around nothing but grimy dudes.
Yeah, you grew up with them bad boys, eh?
So I mean, at the end of the day, like we have to take a certain amount of accountability for the things that we do and for the type of men that we date. And we need to like continue to make sure that as women, if you say, I don't want to deal with this type of a man, then you need to stop entertaining that type of man. Because even if you do have an addiction, because one of my issues is that I'll restrain certain parts of who I am. Okay. Right? So I dealt with somebody that I felt like I couldn't fully be myself. Right? Okay. Like I was kind of holding back because, we had culturally, we were similar. Mm-hmm. There were certain things that I felt like needed to be respected. But to be completely honest with you, I feel like I played myself.
I can't do that myself because I need to be my authentic self when I'm in a situation or relationship with a man. So I feel like if there has to be a situation where I need to reel myself back and like, okay, there's something wrong here, so there's no point in me even trying to be in that type of situation.
And to be completely honest with you, it wasn't so much that I played myself because I wasn't myself. It really wasn't that. What the situation was that I was just withholding a lot. Mm-hmm. Like I restrained a lot. Like even from a physical perspective, like I really held back just because I was like, I don't want to deal with this stigma. I don't, this particular individual is not, they're going to look at me a certain type of way. But I feel like in doing that, I definitely removed parts of who I was. And that's why as women, it's really important for us to stop constantly trying to like fit and conform,
trying to compromise.
And when you're a Muslim woman too, I think there are all of these stigmas that it's crazy how a female can be a Christian. Mm-hmm. So these girls, they out here, they Christian, right? Yeah. They go to confession, they go to mass. Nobody says them, but you're not really Christian because they saw them out turning in the club the other night. True. Right.
But for us Muslim women.
But now all of a sudden, if we don't do everything, or if we have certain sins or certain things that we do, our entire religion and identity comes into question. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So these are certain things culturally that it's constantly a battle. I think people need to understand that life itself is a battle. Yeah. 100%. The constant struggle back and forth that 100%. We deal with. We as a community, like we need to start really talking about these things and having real conversations because nobody is perfect. No. Nobody is not out there doing things that they may or may not be proud of. But it's about balance. It's about support system. It's about recognizing your faults and growth. Growth, evolution, constant evolution. So that's what it is. And we want to thank everybody. I want to thank my co-host Jans once again. Thank you. And the next time that we do this Conscious Thoughts podcast, we are going to have a special guest, surprise guest in the building. Yes. So keep tuned for that. Ladies, you guys are gonna watch this episode. If you have ever wanted to catch your man cheating, this is the episode. This is the episode for y'all. So,
as the background people are just like, I know, keep it quiet.
No, we're gonna drop gems on this podcast. Don't worry, I came to Canada to do conferences and educate y'all how to be crazy from uptown.
Yo, the things I've learned from you so far.
Nobody wants to be in a relationship with me. That's just a disclaimer. All of those pictures and everything that you see, you can like it, but I'm gonna tell you right now that you don't want it. You don't want none of this. This is a whole other level of headache for your ass. Oh shit. So I want to appreciate Johnny Be Good 5 on IG. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we want to make sure you guys check out Apex Radio Definitely Black Dreams Entertainment. We got all the information right here. ApexRadio1@gmail.com. Instagram is Apex_radio. That's Apex with 2 X's. Make sure you check them out. There's going to be incredible amounts of content being added constantly and consistently for you guys to tune in and check it out. So thanks again. This is the Conscious Thoughts Podcast.
Hey.
Hey.